Ah, there we go. Now it's pulling up. Now it's pulling up on this thing. Let me get this other computer set up. I'm testing a new updated exploit today. Quite exciting. At the same time frame, we're going to have extreme story time today. Figured I'd be a little bit different. Not too many people actually come on live for this, but you might catch it later. So it's basically true story. It's been what's going on with me since Saturday. USPS, they call it missing mail. I call it theft. And I'll go into it here just so everybody can see some of the trackings. You won't see the tracking numbers, of course, but I'll show you the tracking history. And the story goes a little something like this. Yeah, I know, right, Joey? So, 2 weekends ago, I drove my mom home to Pennsylvania, which I kind of keep quiet when I do it. Only a few people will know. Um, had some sales. Came back Sunday, packaged all this stuff up. During that time frame, I sell the Herbert Immaculate PSA 10 RPA rookie, right? So get all this packaged up. One being that was going UPS. I had probably it was a total of 12 packages for USPS and the one for UPS. So I take all the packages down like I normally do, go to the counter. And yes, they are. And get them all personally scanned in. I have the receipt. And then once I can verify that every one of those scans say USPS is in position item, I usually just throw the receipt in a drawer. Anybody knows those receipts there, they bleed like the ink comes off very, very quickly, just if you fold them or anything. It's just a horrible idea with those receipts. But I make sure every one of them say USPS in possession. So I want to say it was Friday evening. I got a message because one of the cards was from eBay, and a guy goes, "Any idea why tracking has stopped?" And I'm like, "No idea." And I started looking, and I'm like, "Huh," because I knew Brian and Joey both got their packages, both on different sides of the world or the coast, and started looking into it, and I'm like, man, I got 4 packages that say departed my local post office, but didn't reach Louisville at all. So on Saturday, before they closed, I will go down to the post office with a whole sheet of every. At that time frame, it was 5 cards, and of all the tracking. Say, can you look into this? Because all my other ones are already delivered. Oh yeah, yeah, we'll get back to you. We'll start it this afternoon, and we'll get to you on Monday. So during this time frame, that's scenario one. Scenario two during this time frame, Saturday I have a package coming to me, and it leaves Louisville. I'm expecting delivery Monday. So Monday comes, it doesn't show out for delivery. I'm like, it might have showed up late and they didn't put it in the bin. No big deal. Go to the post office. At this time frame, I have 2 packages with me. Mail both those 2. Both get scanned in. I ask about my sheet. Oh, the postmaster's off today. You'll have to come back tomorrow. I'm like, oh, great. So things start going in my head, and I'm like, this don't sound right here. So basically, I have 5 packages, which turned into 4 when I got home. For some reason, one of the packages started picking up tracking out of nowhere. But 4 of the packages just stopped, says departed local post office. The one coming to me didn't come to me at all, and it's now Tuesday, which is 2 days. And I'm like, what the crap? I then take a look at the packages I mailed Monday, only 2 of them. One is Joey's, who is already processed through Louisville, and the other one ain't going nowhere. It says departed Vine Grove. So I put a call into where I work at Fort Knox, Kentucky, to the post office up there. They all know me from my days up there, and I have her look into it. I'm going to pull up on the screen so you guys have something to look at here. All right. So she does an in-depth investigation onto the whole thing. Her, the postmaster up there, I mean, it's crazy. I go through the whole situation. They start looking at that tracking number, the container number it goes into. There was no scans in Louisville's hub for it. And it smells as if this is not lost mail. This is how stolen mail. During this whole time frame, I got people mad. I got 2 packages that are missing their my slabs, but they have to wait 21 days, so it kind of gives me some time. eBay guy got a little upset, so I just refunded him. 1 package to DC Sports. A package that was supposed to come to me that I picked up off of somebody I know in one of my Facebook groups. Another package I saw on Monday. All missing in action. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we stand at now today. I have to wait 15 days from the day it was scanned in for all the ones I have insurance claimed on for, which is going to be 4 out of the 6. The one that came to me, I'm not even going to bother the guy. I picked up the cards because he was falling on some hard time, and I know he mailed them. But what's funny is that one there scanned out of Louisville. They cut to my local post office. Everything in that container was delivered that Monday, but my 1 package. Which brings me back to the original Monday when I went down there. I was having a conversation with the desk because of the Herbert sale was over $10,000. And she said the only thing they could do would be registered mail, which I understood. And I said, how long would it take, to get to the other side of the states? And she was like, probably about 3 weeks. So it's hand to hand, which I understood. And I had to bring it in. We have to box everything in their presence and all this. I'm thinking at this time frame now, somebody thinks that I had that amount of card that was either being mailed out that day or inbound and was swiping some of my packages. The best part is like I said, the 1 package going out to DC Sports was in a 10 by 8 by 6 box. So today I had a very long meeting on Fort Knox during my lunch. I now have a P.O. box because I will not have anything sent to my house through USPS anymore. I will drive the extra time to go there. The local post office still has not helped me out one bit, which I'm sure they realize it is theft out of their office. And that P.O. box is down below. I'll still get stuff at the UPS store as well, too, for anybody doing stuff. But this is more of a lesson learned. I mean, definitely insure all your stuff. But it's a hassle because you have to wait 15 days from the day it was shipped before you could process it. Then you need receipts and all this stuff. Lo and behold, my DC Sports stuff does not have does not have receipts for it, but I have a way around that, so I'm good. I've had 4 packages get stuck at Louisville and the buyer open did not receive. Somebody sketchy in Louisville, no surprise. Oh wow, Sean, that's crazy. Yeah, this here is not in Louisville because the catch is all my packages that went up to Louisville on that Monday, 8 up, 12 got processed through in that container. 4 of them didn't. I've not had an issue in a long time. Usually it's like one here or there, but I'm able to get the help to find a package and move on. This here all is within one weird instance to where I go in that Monday, talk high value on an item, and try to just make sure I had good clarification before I take it to UPS and send it out that way, overnight it, which was $178. And all of a sudden, then I missed 4 packages that day, 1 inbound to me, and then 1 outbound next day. I could see if they would have taken both packages or all my packages, but it's bad. They went so far in depth onto this, the Fort Knox post office. I mean, very kudos for them up there by doing the P.O. box for me and adding all the craziness onto it and stuff. I mean, there's going to be a huge investigation on this. Somebody's going to get in trouble. I'll tell you that now. I have a friend's wife who works at the Louisville hub. She just made supervisor on Monday, this past Monday, when I started to stink on all this with the Fort Knox one. He said she came home, it was on Wednesday, talking about how they had to go through the whole plant looking for packages. And I'm like, you know who that was? He's like, no, why? Who? And I said, that was me. He goes, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, no, I rose a big thing of it. So, purpose of this video is one, just to air this out so everybody understands to always cover your own self up. And if your post office will not help you, seek others. There's one out there that wants you and your business, because there's a lot of credit that goes on with that stuff behind the scenes from what I was told today. And second is that, if you're in one of these packages, I am tracking it, especially my slabs or anything like that. I will make it right across the board. I will do the refunds. If it was something else, I'll work whatever you want to do, buy, sell, trade, hold, whatever. I will never go against anybody with this kind of stuff, but I wanted to put this out there publicly because this is insane. I'm going to blow this up a tad here, and I want to show you guys what I was shown today. Ooh, I guess that's probably not going to be good. Hold on, let me take this one off. I'll redo it. I learned a lot today, more than I probably should have even wanted to learn. There we go. Then I'll go back and I'll look at a chat here in a second. So this is one of the ones I mailed out Monday. As you can see, shipping label created on the 7th. I believe that was a Monday. It might have been a Tuesday. Now I can't remember. My days are all messed up. USPS in possession of item on the 8th. Departed the 8th. Arriving late. And here we are on the 17th. This is the package that departed that I got from somebody from Texas. That was a Saturday. It was supposed to be here to Monday. Now we're arriving late. And I mean, they did a lot of work. This is one that was supposed to be delivered today to somebody, and you can see the same thing right here. But according to their policy, it's 15 days on anything. I'm going to go by it for right now. I mean, some people may want some resolution earlier, which I'll work with. I know some of the My Slash people watch me, so if that's one of your things and you check your tracker like, hey, where's Extreme's package? Just hit me up on email. Text me, whatever you guys have. IG me. If I don't answer on IG, it's because the alert didn't go on my phone. And we'll get through it. I'll hit Matt Greeny up on message, too, if we have to come down to something earlier. They're all insured. Thankfully, the packages that are left out there, minus the package inbound to me, which I'll just take the loss on. Like I said, guy fell in hard times. I'm not going to raise a stink about that. But the process to get these back, I mean, are going to be painful to get my money back. First, refund people stuff, and then get my money back, too. But it is what it is. But something I was told, and I didn't know this, when you go on PayPal and it says like $50 insurance is included with it, and say then all of a sudden you put $400 insurance, it's not $450. It means $400 total. 50 of it's not chargeable. The other $350 is. But the way it reads on PayPal and other places, it's $50 and how much additional insurance do you want to put on it. So just know that $50 rule right there. All right, let me go back up. Oh, yeah, the postal inspector where I'm from. See, I went on a military post to take care of my stuff. For that guy there is like in charge of a few different offices. And I could trust somebody more on a military establishment than I could on the outside, which is sad to say. They are gonna. They're the inspector, whatever they call postal inspector general or something. This guy's been doing it for a while. He's on vacation this week, but when he comes back, this will be his priority. And if the person does not get jail time for this and there's not a good resolution, this will go to the media. You may see good old Extreme on the local news channels out here. Because I'm not going to play with this one. It's 3 separate cases with missed packages, both inbound and outbound to me. Let me see what we got here in the chat. Yeah, I don't think hardly anybody thought I'd come on for something weird, but I always like Making sure. Yes, okay, let me get back up to the top. Brian, yes, PSA orders have been stolen both every which way. They're trying to have it to where you can elect to go to a FedEx hub to pick up. Um, that's an option. They cannot enforce it on you because they're still required to get the package to you and be covered onto it. Oh, I'll tell you, Fort Knox post office is ticked, especially the way I was treated. Because I mean, when you spend almost $11,000 in shipping in 1 year, yeah, that's a lot of money around here. Considering I'm not a hard brick and mortar store. I've had issues, Sean, like I said before, up in Louisville, and it's sad, but they've gotten better onto it. Most of the issues I've had were always inbound to me, and other people had to do work, but I've always assisted. Oh man, yeah, it's supposed to be federal, Teddy, and that's why I'm going to push it. And I'll tell you, Eric, I do normally insure anything that's like around $100 or more. That's why the one eBay sale was like $60. I just didn't pay for the insurance, but it came back to eat me. Eventually, it does all the time. You know, and Ray, you make a good point there. I will tell you that now. My local post now, like my regular mail person, they care. The postmaster doesn't, and there's a lot to be said about this. A lot. I mean, I'm just gonna say Fort Knox went over board with what they were supposed to do for me, or even did the help they provided because I didn't even mail it from their facility. Plus, the PO box that I got today and stuff like that was really generous of them down there. And if I have to come after work or stuff like that, there's all kind of other stipulations that we agreed upon, so I can make sure product in, product out, and it's safe. It's safe because I think this is what I think happened is that they put my package into a container. In that container, they have like a master like scan, which I wasn't aware of. When that reaches Louisville, that master scan is supposed to take place and get pushed out. But it does not get pushed out until it goes through some kind of machine to get a photo scan. So basically, when it departs Vine Grove, it's in a container. There's like some kind of check bar thing on it. They scan it, it says departed out. Everything in that thing automatically gets departed out. When it reaches Louisville, the container's open, gets put on some kind of belt or something through a machine, and it individually scans each one in and takes a picture of the label showing what that package was. So that's how I know for a fact that those were not in there. And you could easily say this tracking number is in this container, scan a top code, and it just goes out. That's why I'm really, really hesitant on a lot of stuff. The funny part is my local post office has no cameras in the back. We did a lot. I mean, even Joey will tell you, I was sitting there looking to put air tags in this stuff, and then I found out air tags are only good for like 33 feet. And I wasn't going high speed and spend $200 on a GPS transmitter. Sean, I'll have to look into that because maybe they'll refund me mine too. I mean, I'm really not worried. $60, but it is what it is. All right, you want your pig ear? All right, there you go. Sorry, guys, dog wanted pig ear. I agree too with D team sports cards. There's always going to be bad stuff everywhere. There really is. Teddy, they do. That's the bad part. I understood like where they didn't work them 6 days a week, and I'd have that one floater. But ever since my regular postman died in August last year from COVID, I've had new people. All he was like his kind of replacement guy when he was off that came by was like my regular, and they just bounced that dude around. They were when they pick up from my home, they're supposed to scan all the stuff in. These new people were not doing it. It ticked me off. That's why I started going back to the counter. You Dr. Fool? Yep. I ship a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous the stuff you gotta jump through. That's why I'm sticking with Fort Knox. I'll make the extra drive and the security checks to get in, and with what they did. But otherwise, I'm not even playing with any of the locals anymore. Kind of sounds like I'm back in Hawaii. I'm not playing with any of the locals anymore. Yeah, I basically have all the stuff put together kind of now. Long as I was a seller, I had the receipt and I could show the package invoice and then the postage paid and all that stuff, which I have. I put that all onto a document, send it in. They say I get reimbursed. We'll see. Last time I fought, you can buy unclaimed mail. It goes to a place in Atlanta. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Some of you guys are just reading some of the stuff on here. Devontae Adams to Raiders. I figured after Rodgers signed that big contract. Hey, yeah, I mean, honestly, Teddy, I don't really with a lot of people, but I figured if I put this out there with some video, just in case, people that don't know me have bought from me and or done a deal or something with me, or like, why is this not working? You're not the only person. They can see there's more. Like this one here was on the 17th ship or on the 12th shipped out. We're on the 17th. No scan in. Package to me. Oh wait, no, this isn't to me. This is the one on the 8th I took down, and this is one into me. And there's still more, but I'm just not going to pull everyone up. These are just three different instances on different days. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I said, my buddy thought I was going to ask his wife to do some background work for me. That was not it. And then when he's like, "Yeah, she came home complaining about going looking for these packages all through the post office, through all these vehicles and everything they were doing," I'm like, "That was because of me." He's like, "No." I start going in the story. He goes, "That was you then." He goes, "I'm gonna tell her I know who it was." I said, "Oh gosh, you're not gonna be allowed to work with me anymore, man. She's gonna ban you from going to work if we ever go back." Yeah, I mean, it's a shame this stuff happens this way. And then you insure this stuff. Well, here's the thing, like, if you don't sell it by a sales receipt, you then have to um, get somebody who is considered an expert in the area to appraise it. I had to win a case with St. Louis, and if Joey's still in here, he knows the story on this. I had to prove to them I'm an expert. That I've been doing this for X amount of years. I'm a dealer. I have all my licenses from just, from federal, state, distributor level, all this stuff. So I could prove I could show what a card's worth by cutting and pasting eBay sold prices and stuff. It was insane. They just wouldn't take the eBay pictures. And that's why, like, if anybody ever gets something from me and there's no receipt for it, like the exact thing, like say you bought Extreme Bucks, I have receipts here that I will fill out, scan it, and send it to somebody. I will not play the game onto that stuff ever. The thing it sucks is if it shows that it's been delivered, there's nothing anybody can do. After that thing's scanned delivered, it's over. It sucks on both ends at that time frame. But you just can't do nothing. There's no insurance claim. Oh, that's true. Yeah. With the eBay part, yeah, you could do that too. Well, see, the funny part is most of you guys know that I use those white boxes in. Well, now I'm trying to show you guys the white boxes inside a bubble envelope, or that white box goes into a small flat rate box, which is one. And I'm missing the 10 by 8 by 6 box too. They took anything they can grab their hands on. But yeah, I think that I was targeted there, and that's why I switched post offices too. So, like I said, if any of you guys get anything, I may not be able to ship it the next day due to the fact I got to drive on post, go through the security checkpoints, get in there and stuff. So, it could take 48 to 72 hours, business day hours, till I can get to it. My thought process is I'll go the first and last business day of each week. Now, if it's something in a big, huge box, I'll just go down to a different post office and do it. But I'm going to try to keep everything out of Fort Knox. But it would take me from there to get there if there's a line a little bit longer than my hour lunch. So I'm going to have to play around with this. And yes, the rumor is true that I'll probably be leaving the job sometime beginning about a year from now, if all comes out right. So then I'll be just going whatever pretty much I can to it. Well, I think what they do is they look for the insurance on the box and how much, because it says that the package is insured. It doesn't say for the amount. So if you see something's insured, why wouldn't a thief take it? It means there has to be something valuable in it. And like I said, everybody at my local post office at Fort Knox knows what I do. And it's something you can't hide whenever you use registered mail because you have to bring the item in the box you're using. You can't close it up. They have to physically look at everything. They have to physically close it up with this weird tape and all this stuff. So it's nothing that you could hide like, whatever it is. But like I said, all my stuff will be going out of Fort Knox from now on because I think they'll have a better handle on it. And if it does get lost in Louisville, I'm sure that the guy will drive up there and probably go through stuff because they don't want that ding on their records there. If this inspector person can prove in the fault at Vine Grove, somebody should go to jail and that postmaster should be relieved. Dr. Full, I was thinking about doing that, and that's where I came up with the idea about the Apple AirTags. I thought they would go further, and they really don't. I started looking at other GPS stuff, and I have buddies that do security for, like, out in Vegas when the big people come in and stuff like that. They put these trackers on them in case they're kidnapped, yada, yada, and all that. And I was looking at the prices. Like, the cheapest one was, like, I think it was $129 last night. And I was thinking about doing that because even if they destroy it, that when I go and look at the last trace signal, it'll show me where it was at. What's up, Dale? Well, I'm pretty sure that the postmaster inspector general guy, he may want me to ship some stuff out still from there. I told him I will not ship a paid customer stuff out from there. What I'll do is I will just go through my boxes here, and everybody that is in the paid group member, as long as I have your address somewhere, either in a store or on an old email, you may get like a $10 card from me, and it'll be like, a surprise thing in the mail. But it's also going to test the validity of this because I think once I raised that stink Monday and Tuesday, that's why my next two packages were definitely delivered here. Well, no, the Apple AirTag would be to my iPhone. I would have it where the tracking's on my iPhone. But like I said, the furthest one was like 33 feet or something like that. I forget. I figured, because there's people that buy stuff. Now, I could use one of my old cell phones and put some GPS program in. It's like to track where your kids is at and stuff like that. And I think it goes something like 50 miles. So I could put that in the package to see if it goes somewhere. There's all kind of other options onto it. Joey, yeah, but your box was like freaking huge, a 16 by 12 by 10. I mean, somebody walking out with your box would have been like, they would have definitely had to get questioned. But then I sit there and think about a 10 by 8 by 6 box. How did they not see somebody walking out with that? Or three black bubble envelopes with 1 inch white box thickness in there? I mean, I have no idea. I even almost was tempted to go down to their dumpster and go dumpster diving to see if I could find the boxes in there, but the trash was already picked up for the week. See, what they didn't realize when they really messed around was that I will be the person that pressed the issue in a way, and that I have 20 years in the military to where I got a little bit of a vast knowledge on looking at scenarios and stuff to where I'll utilize it in this. And I mean, I went through every scenario there was, thinking this through, getting all the information I could. And today I pretty much closed the loop onto it that it's out of my local post office. There's no way that it's Louisville to blame on this because every other package they clicked on in these containers to include this past Monday are either processed through Louisville, been delivered, or out for delivery. I have the only package that was not again scanned in. It's way too many coincidence with the whole thing. I think he got one Wander rookie and variation photo or something. Soto Acuna, he told me on the phone. Oh, one auto, two relics. He did it a purple hot box. I think Duran was his best pull out of that. If he grades that stuff out we were talking about, he should break even. If not, maybe make a couple bucks. And that's where I was telling I told a couple people this. If you buy one box of cards, it's really, really hard to grade out and get your money back. If you buy multiple, like 3, 4 half cases, when you start doing that stuff, you can have a really, really good chance. Like the odds are in your favor type deal that, you know, you should have enough cards that you could grade to at least get your money back, if not more. I'm gonna throw out like NT flawless and stuff like that, of course not. But I'm talking about the $100 to $200, maybe 250 boxes. Oh yeah, yeah, yours came. I told you. I think the only reason yours showed up today and it showed up like at 11 o'clock, was due to the fact that they probably overheard whoever did it, overheard them, and like, man, we got to cool out for a while on this. So I think all my stuff's safe for a little bit, but they don't realize what is about to really begin with it all. Huh. Yeah, that's not good. You can't scan deliver at the post office and then say, hey, it was supposed to be to my residence. I'm not picking it up there. I mean, they could have, Dr. Fuller. There's all kind of pieces to it. Because they had contractor work being done, but what I found out was that was like federal government contractors in there doing it during that one day. I would have put it on the workers in there that day because I haven't had any issues in that post office, and probably minus that big package, but that was like from Louisville not having the records of transferring to FedEx. I really haven't had an issue there in 2-3 years, probably. Um, yeah, it's just craziness. Yeah, after like I said, after my person died, um, I still had the one gentleman come to my house. He was real good, always picked up. I mean, heck, half the time I helped him carry stuff out or bring it out to him and stuff. And I knew that stuff was getting scanned in right there. I then had a lady. She was real good, did the same thing. They both were assigned different routes, and I got two other people, and it's been horrible with them delivering. Horrible. And when they were doing pickups, I wouldn't see a scan until like it would hit Louisville around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It wouldn't even show a Vine Grove anything. Because I went back and showed older trackings in this thing that's going on now. Where I was like, check this out. I'm like, they picked it up from my house. And they're like, what? They're supposed to scan that in. I said, exactly. They weren't doing it. And I said it went to Vine Grove, and I guess as soon as they got in, they threw it in the tubs and the containers where it was going to Louisville. And there was no container number to get scanned in. So it didn't really get the first scan until it hit Louisville as an inbound piece. Oh, I have no idea on that one, Magnus. I really don't. Joey, tomorrow when I get done with work, I'm going to come live and go over your stuff. And since you're on here now, you want me to take it to the show with me? I mean, I don't know how much you want for it, but I could put it out on display and see if I can get you cash for it. I mean, I don't know. I still think your best bet is what I told you today. Send it in. If it comes back the same way as prior, we'll do it the other way. I need to look at it tomorrow. I'll look at it tomorrow after work. I'm going to come live and then just do your stuff, and then I'm all out and I got to get everything ready for the show next day. I kind of got stuff all packaged up now minus pricing, so it's not bad. But yeah, if you guys have stuff like this going on, if you type in like USPS inspector, I think it's inspector general, there's all kind of stuff. You can initiate stuff above these postmasters and stuff. Like if you live in an area that only has one post office and the other one's like 30 minutes to an hour away, there's a lot you can do. Now, if that inspector dude is even worth half anything, they're gonna dig into that. Like this guy's gonna be overjoyed with digging into this. I could see this turning out bad for whoever did it. They just didn't realize, like I would be the person that wouldn't let this be. I am Magnus. I'm set up in Louisville this weekend. Probably till about 12 to 1. Somewhere by 1 o'clock, I should be packing up and leaving, coming back. I can't stay all day at this time. The following weekend, I'm driving to go to a show as a buyer in Louisville, a different one. Ouch. Well, see, I talked to a PSA today, and I'm going to show you guys something cool I learned today. I'm going to do a video on this, but I'm going to show you guys something really neat. Give me 1 second to grab everything, because I have it packed up for the show. Ooh, use. All right, so I talked to PSA about my thing. Soon as I file the claims, they're going to flag all my serial numbers too. But as the time frame I talked to PSA, they were like, we were talking about fake slabs. So this is how you can tell another PSA fake slab. I don't know if you guys know this. This is really cool. I didn't know this. This is a UV blacklight, right? So you see this top red border, right? It looks red. Check this out. Let me see if I don't know if I'll get it on camera. Okay, at that angle, you guys can kind of see there's wording up there, PSA. There, if I take it this way, if you look in the middle above best, there's actually, I don't know what you want to call it, invisible ink onto it, where PSA's wrote in face up and then upside down across that whole top. Here's the back. Notice this PSA logo right here. Let me, I don't know if it's because it's in this case or not. Let me take it out real quick, this sleeve. There's, it's hard to tell. But around PSA, there's holographic symbols too on the back that they embed into this. Didn't know if anybody knew that or not. I'm going to do a video onto it this weekend. But like if you're at a show and you're looking at, now I don't know how back far it goes. I forgot to ask that because I was just amazed. This back. Got plugged. I was just amazed that they had that feature on there. But kind of cool. I have, well, 1, 2, 3 of the cards are graded by PSA. Well, actually 4 were. The eBay one was too that I already refunded for somebody. Because they popped it on eBay and I just told them, okay, give me 2 more days, work on my local post office. If not, I'll refund you. And, it was all good communication, so I'm not really worried. Man, my throat was dry there. Yeah, Doctorville, they are. That was just something they told me on the phone today, this afternoon. But yeah, once I get the insurance put in there, I'm going to have my stuff flagged to where if that serial number gets listed on eBay, it's going to flag the system and then I'll get notified too. But it's as stolen. But I have to wait the 15 days out, file the claim, then show them. And then once it's actually the claim is proven and paid for, then it's like kind of like where they'll actually do it. It's crazy on the whole thing. Or I can go the long route or the easier route, take my claims and everything down to my police department and have a police thing. But I'm just not about doing all that craziness there. I'll just do it the other way. I've already spent a lot of time with just these packages doing this, but I have been checking eBay to see if they post them up on there. I've also hit up the 2 shops in Louisville and my local around here just in case, and I'm keeping an eye out on Facebook posts and what's that other thing, Offer Up or something like that too. Because I'd like to find out who actually is behind this. Because the great thing is the cards that sold on eBay and stuff, I have like the picture of it with the serial number and my slabs. Plus, I was the original grader on this stuff and it's still underneath my account. Oh, Dr. Full, if they let me do that, it'd be bad news for them. Bad news. We're back waterboarding. I'm going to refresh this other computer. I'll be able to see the chat here in a second. My older computer is actually on its last leg that I used to view this stuff with. If it don't work here, I'll just pull it on my phone. Yeah, it's acting all crazy. This is like a 2015 computer. Yeah, it looks like, where'd my phone go? Pocket. Oh, wait, now I think it's up on this one. Yeah, it's coming now. Close that out. Just gotta wait for the chat to load back up. There we go. No, but I'm hoping that they find some resolution in the whole thing. Yeah, I think. No, I take it back. This computer's the older one. This is the one I had in 2000. Oh gosh, this was my replacement from when I deployed in 2012 and came back late 2012 because if you belong to USA and put this underneath your insurance because of the dust and stuff that got into it, they would give you money towards a new computer, which I bought this one. When I started breaking, I couldn't multi-stream with this one, so I bought the other laptop, which is on the other side here. I take it back. This is an older one. But yeah, that's pretty much why I've been kind of quiet this week. Luckily, I had all my videos done this weekend because I figured a lot of my time was going to be taken up with all this, and especially with having to do a meeting up in Fort Knox this week, which I did today. I wanted to see the whole big picture onto the processing and have a fully good understanding of how this went on, because my judgment originally was theft, and it was going to be theft at my local, and my intuition was pretty much confirmed today. But yeah, somebody will hopefully end up going to jail time for this. I don't want to see like they did with some of them guys that were stealing stuff and they just fire them and give them a slap on the wrist. I want prosecution. Because, I mean, if I went into a store and I stole something that was, pretty much money, I'd probably get jail time. My phone back over here. I'll throw this thing back up just so that's something on the screen. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that I learned that trick with the PSA slabs today. Yeah, it's bad, man. I mean, with all the stuff that I've shipped during COVID, really, I only had that one issue. I had a couple packages inbound to me that either never made it to Louisville or one never left Louisville. But luckily, the person insured their packages like I do. Well, all of them did. And they got reimbursed. I think it took them during COVID about 3 months from the time they started so they got their check because they were really backlogged. But This here, I'm taking it from the time I start it until I get the check, no more than 6 weeks. Because I asked the question, what happens if you guys find my card? They're like, well, you could either return the money and get your card back or keep the money. I'm like, I'm just keeping the money at this time frame. I don't want it back. Not the hassle I went through. My luck, I'll see it and it'll be cracked in half or something. I wouldn't doubt it. Weren't they just pumping Gary V's stuff? You know, I was thinking about the Gary V thing with his little whatever that was card thing he came out with, V Zoo cards or whatever, V Sketch, I forget. Well, anyhow, I was thinking about that. Wouldn't that be crazy if Fanatics uses that same approach whenever they do it? God. And they'll wonder why people will just be looking for older wax then and just saying forget the whole thing. But if they do it that way, can you imagine breakers not getting their, X amount of cases now? A lot of them will go down under. Hopefully they didn't take out the COVID loan for way more than $1 million because that could really hurt you. But yeah, if you guys start seeing my stuff coming from a new area, that's the only reason why today. Plus, kind of give the little formal alert. And then if you guys ever have issue and it's with your post office, you don't have to stop there. Somebody out there is going to want to help. There's always a good person somewhere out there. It's just trying to find them. It's the hard part. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Jake Sports, that's a shame. I seen a lot of stuff get posted to where it was other areas. I want to say it was like in Alabama, somebody was, I don't know if I think it was UPS on this one, where carriers were just dumping packages because they were forcing those guys to work till like their truck was empty. And they were doing it like nonstop till midnight, 1 in the morning, delivering packages. So they just started throwing them off the sides of the roads and stuff, and people found them. I mean, I've heard all kind of the post office stuff through the years. Then you're like, huh, hopefully that never happens to me. And lo and behold, look, it does. Yeah, I think it's they have to pay those. There was a longer loan, Teddy, than I think what it is they had to pay X amount per month. And I can't remember if it was 10 or 20 years because I was getting hit up left and right about having COVID loans. That was like between that call on my phone, would you like to take a second mortgage or remortgage your house for full price because you have equity in it? Oh, your car warranty's set to expire in a year. How about you do this? And would you like Sirius radio in your car? Phone calls. It was ridiculous. But I learned very quickly when the one lady was talking to me about it. She's like, well, what's your business do in a year? And I'm like, why? I'm not interested. She's like, listen, sir, if your business does X amount, your least minimum is $1 million. And I'm like, what? You're going to give me $1 million, but you had to have employees. But then she's like, oh, there's a workaround behind that. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need that kind of money to do sports cards. And I pity anybody that did do it and they used that money to buy during the high because I don't know how you're going to get your money back on that stuff. A lot of people, when they started doing those loans, started opening up card shops too. And then they applied for those loans and got them. It will be interesting, Teddy, because I'm sure that'll be a topic within this year of people already defaulting on COVID loans, especially in the sports card industry. Because it was some crazy amount that you had to do. I think for every million, it was like 10,000 a month you were paying back. Let me think about this: 120 months, 240 months. No, it would have been more than that. I forget. It was some crazy amount. Oh, is that what it was? Okay, I couldn't remember the whole thing. I thought she told me 2 point. Oh, you know what? I know what it was. It was if you paid it off early, like if I would have paid it off before the grace was over, that's what it was. It was only a 2.9% finance charge. That's what it was. So you're probably right. 7.5%. The monthly payments are low, but it's 20 years I think onto that loan. So just imagine if you took out $1 million, it's 7.5% what you're going to end up paying on it. I mean, what is that? A million? We're just going to go divided by 200. Well, 12 months times 20, 240 months. Well, that's all. That's 4166 plus the 7.5% interest. So probably about 5,000 a month, maybe six. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. All those dudes took that stuff out too. Yeah, it was based off of how much you were running, and during that time frame, I was selling like Lucas at like I think it was an average of like 6,500, 7,000 PSA 10 and all that other stuff that I was holding. I was just jam packing it out there. So you imagine you do a couple 100,000 in sales plus what you originally do during a year, and then all of a sudden they floated that thing out twice. You get a lot of money. Yeah, that the one lady, like I said, she tried to float me on it, and I was bored, and I started getting into it, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good. You sure, sir? We only need this, 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 and this, and you'll get approved. You'll be approved. Get your money now before it dries up." Nope, I'm good. But yeah, I know a lot of people out there took out ones that were seven. Was it seven figures? Yeah, seven figures. Heck, there's a channel on YouTube that's talked about three of them are three or four people that already have done it, and I know a couple of them were like one and a half, $2 million a pop. No, Teddy, I think eventually once those loans catch up to people, because you gotta imagine that loan is going to be tacked onto your regular business expenses for the month. So we'll just say you have to pay like an extra 5,000 a month on $1 million. That's a lot of money for sports cards. You're already still paying your rent and your building and all that other stuff, overhead and everything else. If you got employees, I think we'll see a bigger dump off here in 2 years. With it after this year is done, I think we'll see a bigger dump off because people are going to start hurting and they'll start getting hit up on that. I really do. The people that were smart during it all sold it high and very rarely bought into overhyped cards and stuff. They're still sitting pretty. They're still buying their stuff back now for you know if they sold at max value, they're getting back now 60-70% of what was high, some cases 50% from what I've heard. I mean, there were people, enormous accounts that were selling stuff through consignment places, getting that money. They didn't care. Everybody knew it was going to not last long, but it lasted longer than what most people thought, too. I don't know. Mine, the one that they were trying to do on me, Chris, I had to pay back, and there was some kind of COVID something loan. But I do know a lot of these people, they're gonna have to pay them back. I think if the loan was supposed to only be used to help pay for your employees or something, and Teddy will know more because I really didn't get into it much. I just didn't want to get floated into a loan and then be hit with some kind of stupid bill every month. But I think if it was used for employees' salaries or something, it might not had to have been. I don't know. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I see it every show now where I'm set up at that people come by and, I'll give them a price. They'll walk the floor, and a lot of people will offer them lower. They might sell a couple of the cards and come back, and they'll be like, will you do this for this? I'll be like, no, you got rid of the bread and butter that I really wanted. These here, I'm at this price for. I can go to any table in here and pick these cards up today. Huh. Yeah, I know the place that called me because when she asked about how much I was at, and I had to do a quick snap thing of my PayPal for the past 365 days, and then I had to use my website processing and something else. Like, she was offering a lot of money, but it had to be paid back. Yeah, that was the one I know I didn't qualify for because I didn't have employees, and that's when she flowed this other thing through to me. Yeah, Teddy was right though. I think it was 7.5%, but if I paid it off early, the penalty fee I think was 2.9% or something. But I knew I had 2 years of like a grace period, and then the payments were supposed to start in place, I believe. It was so long ago too. This was in whew, I want to say it was like in the fall of was this 2020 that I got approached on that. Oh yeah, for payroll, I could see that. Yeah, I stayed clear of it. It made no sense for. They were trying to get everybody onto it. From my understanding, I think Mark's cards might walk away scot free, not jail to no jail time. He'll just have a lot of liens and stuff. Ah, okay. I got what you're saying. Yep. So I guess what they when they were doing my stuff and she was talking to me on the phone because I didn't have employees, that might have been why I had to pay the whole thing back then. Okay. Yeah, when she offered me that enormous amount, I about died. I was like, "No, I'm good." Are you sure everybody's doing it? Well, everybody can jump off the London Bridge too. It doesn't mean I'm going to follow suit. All right, let me turn that off. Oop. We didn't have any PII up, huh? Oh, I bet, Teddy. Heck, all that money was put back out there. That's why we've seen a lot of this stuff jump in price crazily, too. People are just making businesses up. Because how many times they did that loan? What, 3 or 4 different times? I think too. Because I know I was still getting calls on it last year. I think in the spring to that was like my final chance to do it or something. Oh, I didn't even see it, Doctor Full. I have no idea. Last thing I saw from eBay was something about some vault thing they want to do. Oh, let me look. I'm gonna pull this off real quick. What's it called? eBay payment wallet. All right, I'll pull this up in case everybody can see now. eBay announced its first digital payments wallet, a significant development made possible by taking over payment processing from PayPal. When did this come out? Oh, this is recent. I wouldn't want them holding my money. Yeah, personally, I would not want them holding my money by reading that. Oh, wow. That's crazy, Chris. Huh. Yeah, they definitely are in bad places. They are definitely in bad places now. The only thing I took advantage of was I got offered a lower mortgage rate due to COVID. And I took it because of the backlog in PSA because the business falls under me. And they had to have my last 2 or 3 years of tax returns and all kind of other stuff. And I actually got approved for it. So I think I went from a 4.1, which was the lowest you can get at the time, to 2.9. I mean, it lowered my monthly payments. I didn't take any extra out on top. It was just whatever my balance was. And still have the same end date onto it. I'm trying to add in my head what it was. I think it's about $80 cheaper a month I saved or something. Oh yeah, because whenever you use their wallet, so first they're going to tax you on your, or charge you for what you sell on there. Then every time there's a transaction with that money, it'll be like 2.9%. Why? To whoever receives it. I would not buy into that. I could see it being crazy to where they're getting more money out of it somehow. Oh yeah, back to the flippers of the shows, man. There's a lot of guys who I could tell you were about, what was that? About 6 months ago. I think it was the first or second Louisville show where another guy was setting up there. It's not the one I normally set up at. They were having a conversation because they took it out because of their online business. And I can tell you now, when I see some of their cards that were in their cases and I still could picture it and the price values have dropped because they used to buy a lot of inventory. I mean, you could sell that inventory now at a loss, but at the end, you're still going to owe money back on that loan. Yeah, I think that would be good for them there. I will say that, Charles. You are right for international buyers and sellers. If their stuff stored in a vault, that way, if it's already here, you're not going to have to worry about all that crazy custom stuff and will it make it here and stuff. I am still a firm believer. Now, there is a new COVID thing out in Europe right now. I believe it's France. I don't think it's hit the United States. They say it's just like the Omicron, however you want to say it, but it spreads easier. I think we're going to end up having, go back into the red zone here into April because right now we got all that spring breaks going on. On top of it, then you got the high school spring breaks. In summer coming around, it'll be right spiking back up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those student loans, no joke on that. I was lucky because when I received my disability rating through VA, there was an option that if I stopped after my master's degree, they would pay it off 100% my student loan. I just could never go back to college because of my rating. I took it in a heartbeat. I'm not going to lie. A little less potent. Yeah, I've heard it's similar characteristics of the last one we just had. It'll only be so much time till it kicks in over here and numbers spike again. I think so too. And because they pushed the mortality rate, making a big social media thing onto it, it scares a lot of businesses that are unionized. Because if you force somebody who's considered now high risk for that and something happens, you open yourself up for a lot of bad stuff to happen. A whole lot. So, like with my job there, they're at 40% now, basically. And it's based off of not the area the counties surrounding it, it's the county the business is in. So we hit what they call a yellow status, which means you don't have to wear masks in public. But all the counties around us are still like with masks on. It's crazy. And we get people to travel from all over into our office building, other countries to everything. So I still think our area, it might have went down just like it did before, but it's about to spike back up. But yeah, I think COVID's going to be around for a while. I thought that he was a free agent this year, Charles, and that they just signed him. Let me look at ESPN because somebody just came in here saying Devonte Adams to the Raiders. Oh, I guess they are trading him. Yep. I thought for some reason he was a free agent this year. Oh, they're giving a new year 5-year contract. Okay. I wonder how Aaron Rodgers feels now. Well, I'm sure he's just happy because his bankroll's huge. I still thought it was funny today that Baker Mayfield asked for a trade and the Browns declined it because they can't get Watson. That whole thing's just ruined for disaster now. I mean, without looking at the salary cap, I know with Rodgers' new deal, that was a lot of money. I don't know if they were able to afford Adams or not with whatever else they were doing. I know the hockey trade deadline's Monday. That's going to be quite the finish there. I don't know if that one receiver will totally fix him at all, though. Just by sitting there thinking off the top of my head with it, I mean, you still got Josh Jacobs, who's decent for a running back on a team. You add Devonte Adams in the mix. They still got an old aging, like probably like a 35 to 38-year-old Deshaun Jackson. I mean, Hunter Renfro's on there. Who was that other guy? Wasn't it Edwards or something like that? I don't know. Where is? Oh, hold on. I want to pull something up here. When you look at the AFC West, okay, I was forgetting the I knew there was another team with dang Broncos in it. I mean, that's a small little division there that is just bam. I mean, unless like Mahomes gets knocked out or something bad happens up there, I mean that there you got to have star power all the way around just to even compete now. Oh yeah, that's tight end Waller, right? Pretty sure Waller's tight end. Yeah, I knew there was somebody else in that team. I just couldn't think it up. I mean, there's a lot of people like that too that didn't get COVID, nothing like that. I got sick right before they announced calling it COVID because they told me that I had some severe flu. Our whole office got it. And I mean, I was out and down for 3 days. And it was bad to where I was going like hot to cold. And then, oh, within the last year, I hit it again. And it wasn't COVID. I don't know. I wasn't tested for it. I just stayed home and took care of myself. I mean, some people will say COVID is just a fancy word for an advanced flu. I have no idea. My background is definitely not medical. I can patch you up quick on the battlefield, but that's about it. I know how to stop the bleeding and open an airway. HR stuff with my degree, I can help you out. Tax stuff, yeah. But as far as all that other stuff, a little bit from when I wanted to think I was going to do law school, then transfer to HR. But I'm not even in that. I just ask the questions. People tell me the answers. Okay, so he was supposed to be a free agent this year, correct? I thought for some reason I thought Devontae Adams was supposed to be a free agent. So if they tagged him and then traded him, okay. For some reason, like I said, I thought that he was supposed to be a free agent this year because all the talk about him and Rodgers going somewhere together. Yep, here it is. 9 days ago, Packers tag Adams. Yep. That's what I was, Brian. 20 years of it. I know people from where I worked with on Fort Knox that went into hospital like that, passed away. The reason being on on I guess you could say their death certificate COVID. I know people back home, same thing. I don't know. But that first one, it was December 2020, and it was right before Christmas. Three of us were out of the office for 3 days. Then the rest of the office started falling. I mean, we even when we came back, we weren't at 100% probably for 3 to 4 weeks. I think it might even take me a little bit longer. But my whole body just felt weak forever. Yeah, I was down there for basic AIT, came back down there for third ID for about close to 2 years. We deployed, and upon coming back, my unit went from infantry to a cav. I was going through a divorce, so I knew the branch manager and asked them if there was a way I could stay just for an additional year somewhere, and then they could do whatever they want with me. Yeah, they're like, "You're a drill sergeant now." I'm like, "Oh, thanks," but I got what I asked for in a way because I didn't want to go to a new state and having to come back to try to meddle with a divorce that was messy to begin with. Hey, whenever my mailman passed away from COVID, originally when the new courier came by, they weren't allowed to say that he had COVID and was in the hospital for it, which I thought was bad because this dude came and picked packages up from me. Like I handed him the packages. You know, it could have been caught and spread right there. I thought that was a bad call to begin with. They should have notified anybody that had close contact with him about that. But again, he was wearing a mask coming to my door and all the craziness too. Yeah, they consider me high risk because when we were out in Afghanistan, we had to have these burn pits to burn, I guess feces would be the best way of saying it, and stuff like that that was being burned out there. When I came back to Colorado, I was I could run. And all of a sudden I was having issues breathing. They're like, oh, it's just climatized to Colorado. And I'm like, dude, the altitude here is lower than the hills in my Afghanistan. It didn't make sense. So eventually I end up getting tested because like I went from my 13s and a 2 mile run into like my low 15, mid 15s. I was kind of worried about it. And they're like, "Oh, you got asthma." And then when I came here to Fort Knox upon retirement, they end up doing all this stuff to find out that when I was deployed, I had to answer all these questions coming back through SRP. That's when they linked it to the burn pits because none of us were masked doing that stuff. Fun old days, the good old Army, 7 years ago. I can't believe I've been retired now almost. It'll be 7 years in October. Man, time just flies anymore when you get old. I'm sitting here playing with this thing. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all hopping on today. I wanted to at least get the USPS story out there in case you are due something to me and you're wondering why the status is like that. There are now, like I said, 6 packages from 3 different days that all have that. And I got to wait till day 15 to process stuff. They want to wait it out too. And that's the claims department, even though myself and the Fort Knox post office knows it's pretty much theft right now. But if you bought something from the My Slabs area from me, just hit me up on a side note, and I'll just let Greeny have Mr. Greeny know what's going on and why I'm doing a refund early and stuff. If you want to wait it out, that's cool too. To see maybe the whole thing was in my mind with it all, but I highly doubt it. But I'm going to log off for tonight. I will come on tomorrow. I got to do a quick look over some cards for Joey. And then I'm going to get myself finished packed up for the show on Saturday. And I'll get back to some videos after that for sure. But appreciate everybody. Like I said, if you're affected by what I put out today, just hit me up. Um, only 6. Well, one of them's mine. It's inbound. So really only 5. Well, 4 because one was going DC Sports. So 4 people. But other than that, if you guys see stuff going to a different address, P.O. box and stuff like that, out of a different area, I didn't move. It's just I had to redo stuff to have a safer means, hopefully, of not having this happen, since I'm pretty sure it's the local post office. I still put stuff on the website, Chris, but if it sat there stagnant, I was sent to DC. And because for a while there, I was setting up like every other week at shows, I just wasn't posting new stuff onto it. There's still stuff on there now. It's been there probably for at least a month, some of it. But I was pretty much, if it wasn't moving within about 3-4 weeks, I was sent to DC Sports. There was no point of holding this stuff there for a while. But after this weekend, until my mom comes back down and I start setting up at more shows, it'll be back to the old way because I'll just be setting up once every 2 months. But yeah, I do sell a lot more to shows than I do online, though. It's easier for me because there's not that scare of, oh my gosh, is this going to make it to the person or not? Stuff like that there. It's just a quicker transaction on both ends. Plus, you get FaceTime with the person you're selling to, and you build that little bit of a relationship to where later on I could buy from them. They might come buy more from me type deal. I always like the older ways of selling than all this new technology. I like the face to face better. Plus, I can see the raw cards, stuff like that. All right, guys, I am out. Take care. Have a good, safe weekend coming up. If I don't catch you guys stopping by tomorrow, probably about an hour with Joey's stuff. But I will catch you guys later. Take care.